Well, you correctly intuited the source of your problem 5 minutes ago, when you said maybe it's my understanding of the word illusion that is the problem. And that's the problem. And it's actually quite a familiar, quite a common problem, because sometimes we read not so much translations of original teachings, but commentaries on original teachings by people who didn't understand them. Or, indeed, we read original transcripts of teachings that don't go into quite as much detail as we do here, and therefore may say things like, the world is an illusion, and then not explain exactly what is meant by that. So then the students go away thinking, wow, the great master says the world is an illusion, but when I look around, my experience is real. I mean, I don't know what the great master sees, but when I look around, I see a room full of people, and it's there. My experience is real. So the master must be talking. He must be extraordinary. He must be having some completely other experience out of this world, not having the experience that us poor limited mortals are having. And in this way, enlightenment, or the realization of our true nature, is conceived to be something so extraordinary and so exotic and so beyond the reach of mere mortals. And then we have to elaborate hugely complex and disciplined practices in order to approach this impossible state of enlightenment. So here we take a great deal of trouble to explain the terms that we use and the ideas that we speak of. For instance, the idea that the world is an illusion, which actually I would never say that the world is an illusion. Or at least if I said it, I would never say it without qualifying what I meant. What is meant by that phrase is the world as we conceive it is an illusion. That's the longhand version, which has been abbreviated over the years to the world is an illusion. It's the world as the finite mind conceives it. How does the finite mind conceive the world? Or what is the nature of the world that the finite mind conceives? It is a world made out of finite stuff called matter. So what the teaching says is that a world made out of this dead, inert stuff called matter is not the world as it truly is. The teaching doesn't say experience is an illusion. Experience is absolutely real. You know that. Your experience, whatever your experience is, whether it's an experience like this of the waking state, or you may be having a dream where you're flying across the mountains. Now, that dream is a real experience. Yes? It's real. And it's as real as an experience as this experience is. It's a real dream. Yes? The dream is made out of stuff called mind, and this, thought tells us, is made out of stuff called matter. But both experiences are real. Yes? Let's not take the dream, because I can see you have a little difficulty with that. Let's say you have 4 glasses of wine for dinner. Your normal perception of the world will change. You'll have a different experience, but your experience will be no less real than your sober experience. Yeah? In fact, every experience you have is equally real. Whether you're dreaming, whether you're intoxicated, whether you're agitated, whether you're sick, whatever your experience itself is undeniably real. So the question that the ultimate question that all spiritual traditions ask in one way or another is, what is the nature of that reality? What is it that is real about my experience? Thought tells us it's made out of thought. Really, conventional thought gives us two options. Conventional thought tells us either matter is the ultimate reality of experience and mind is a byproduct of matter, or thought tells us mind is the ultimate reality of experience and matter is a byproduct of mind. Those are the two options that conventional thought gives us, and we become either realists or idealists depending on which of the two options we prefer. So the spiritual teaching gives us, or the true non-dual spiritual teaching gives us a third option. It says that the reality of experience is not made either of matter or of mind. It is made out of stuff called consciousness, of which mind and matter, or they really should be written the same word because they always come together. Mind, matter, all one word, is a byproduct. So now to go back to the phrase, the world is an illusion. The world made out of stuff called matter is an illusion. The world made out of stuff called mind, even, is an illusion. But the world made out of stuff called consciousness is real. In other words, consciousness is the reality, the substance, the stuff out of which all experience is made.
I buy that ticket, but I still don't understand what's happening when the illusions are running around doing things. I don't understand what's happening, with the objects, seemingly. Like if I'm in a restaurant and I see the movie, that you talk about, I can't just say to myself, it's an illusion, Stanley. Go back to eat and go out. But what's happening?
We've already discussed. It's not an illusion. Your experience in the restaurant is real. Everything you experience is real. But you understand that the stuff that you are experiencing, that is all these people eating their dinner, although they appear to be bodies made out of matter, discussing ideas that are made out of mind, although that's how they appear to be, the deeper reality of what they really are is consciousness. Now that doesn't make the appearance, that realization doesn't make the appearance disappear. Just like when you're watching a movie and it suddenly dawns on you that all you're seeing is a screen. You're not seeing a landscape, you're seeing an empty screen. That realization doesn't bring the movie to an end, but it does change the way you relate to the movie. Likewise, you're in the restaurant. Conventional thought would have you believe that all these people are independent objects made out of matter and they're all discussing ideas made out of mind. But this deeper understanding enables you to realize that they are ultimately made out of the stuff that you are. Pure consciousness. Now that has a profound effect on the way that you relate to the situation, this deeper understanding. It doesn't mean to say that you can no longer think in terms of mind and matter. It no longer prevents you from drinking a glass of water if you're thirsty, or getting up and paying your bill and walking to your car when your meal is finished. For all those activities, the model of matter, or the model of mind plus matter, works perfectly well. So you use that model in response to the relative situation, but your deeper understanding is that the ultimate reality of this experience is pure consciousness, which is yourself. And that deeper understanding changes profoundly the way you relate to the appearances. I can see that we haven't quite met in understanding.
Well, I hear that, and I get it. But how does awareness make the car, so to speak, or how does awareness engineer a bridge? Those things.
But first of all, it takes the form of thought. And the very first thought is, I'd like to make a bridge because I'm fed up with walking all the way around. It takes me all day to get there and all day to get back. Why don't I make a bridge?
Gotcha.
That's the thought. Second thought. Okay, what do I need to do to make a bridge? What should we? And a series of thoughts, soon accompanied by images, begin to take shape. And then those thoughts and images lead to actions. We get our saw, we go to the forest, we cut down the trees, as you mentioned, we slice them all up into planks, and we begin to build the bridge. But the entire process of dreaming the bridge, conceiving it, designing it, planning it, making it, is a series of thoughts, sensations, and perceptions appearing in, known by, and made out of consciousness. Mm-hmm. That doesn't prevent you being extremely precise in your designs, going to select the right materials, getting the right engineers to also have a series of thoughts and to make a series of calculations, and this complex edifice of thinking, sensing and perceiving builds up, which eventually materializes as the bridge. It eventually turns into the building of the bridge and eventually the bridge.
I see that.
So there's no conflict between this approach and a very practical approach to life, which is able to use the concepts of matter and the concepts of mind when they are appropriate. If you want to build a bridge, you need the concept of matter and the concept of mind. So you take them out of the toolbox and you use them. But then when those concepts are no longer required, you put them back. You don't keep using them. You just use them for purposes for which they were designed, which is doing things like building bridges or cooking meals or buying plane tickets or flying across the world.
So I can't wait for my mind to start going again. I got something to say to it. Because it's sort of, my mind is sort of like I heard Annie Lamont say, that she said her mind is sort of like a bad neighborhood. She hates to go there by herself. And I full well agree.
Yeah, you see, don't make the mind a problem. The mind, concepts are not problems. Beliefs are problems.
Right.
And beliefs are simply concepts that we believe to be true. Yeah, the belief of matter is not a problem. The belief of the outside world, the concept of matter is not a problem. It's actually necessary for practical purposes. The concept of the mind, the concept of the world, the concept of materials and substances and processes and people, all these concepts, they're not a problem. We need them. But to believe that those concepts refer to something that is ultimately true is a problem. So just distinguish between beliefs and concepts. All beliefs are concepts, but not all concepts are beliefs.
Thanks.